Greetings, sci-fiction awesomeness. My name is Owen C. Cotter, and you're watching sci-fiction digitally simulcasting on a lot of networks, including YouTube, X, Twitch, Facebook, and beyond. If I'm popping up in this feed today in your Facebook or your Twitch or your YouTube or your X or anything and beyond, we've got an amazing guest joining us here in about 15 minutes. His name is Michael Havens. He is the founder of ICCC, the Imperial Commissary Collectors Convention, which will be coming up in June 19th to the 21st, I believe. Go over a few news updates. Everybody pour in here in the digital chat, the digital everything, digital goodness. Let me know if you have any questions for Michael. His event's coming up in June. It's a heavy event, a lot of heavy hitters. I'll bring up the window here soon with his website, which we'll go over in detail, and he can explain about what the platform and the convention is going to be about. We'll go over some news items. First off, we'd like to mention we will be leaving for a little bit. We're going to be going out of the country. My good friend and client, Chris McCauley, we're going to bring this up real quick. They are dedicating the library in Ballymena, Ireland, in his honor. And here is the article here. It's also the 400th anniversary of the founder of Ballymena in general, the town that helped shape a story there. This is the event, 400 years of Ballymena. It's at Ballymena Academy. He's done a lot of work from Star Trek to Doctor Who. He's worked in Dark Legacies, which he created with Claudia Christensen and Bruce Boxleitner. And actually, he was responsible for reuniting the remaining cast of Babylon 5 for that project, for a sci-fi project called Dark Legacies. Also worked heavily as basically the creator and co-creator with Dr. Stoker of the Stokerverse and a whole bunch of other goodies, as well as some new projects here mentioned in this thing here, which is called Ghost Protocol. This flyer mentions that Ghost Protocol is a new near future thriller, kind of a sci-fi. Takes place maybe 5-10 years in the future. Those are the tactical team. It's a comic book. Shift volumes 1, 2, and 3, starting in about, I think, December or January, started featuring short stories with artwork in there. The comic should be coming out soon for a bunch of issues. So we're getting that. And we may be doing some other projects like games and other. Stay tuned on that. This is the article on the SciFiction. That's Brooke, my co-producer partner. That's me, of course. There's Chris. Helping a Hero is a foundation, which I highly recommend checking out. They build homes for disabled veterans who have been, had injuries and all kind of sustaining wounds due to serving in the military and doing a proud job of making this country free and beyond. This is the article, so I highly recommend reading that on the site. That's Ballymena. Ballymena Academy is where the award will be dedication ceremony, where they're going to dedicate the library after Chris in his honor. So there's that. We've got a lot of cool stuff going on. Also, they got a really cool article about Peter Jackson's new details on the psychological shift to the next Lord of the Rings movie, Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. Just tons of stuff. Black Torch, Let's Fight, as in he did summer anime. Some free games you can get on Steam right now. Jujutsu Kaisen is kind of cool. Jujutsu Kaisen is now officially canon in the Marvel universe. I think it's part of like a multiverse or something, but it's canon. It's mentioned in Marvel Comics issue Earth's Mightiest Mutant number 4. Is now where Marvel's cosmic structure briefly overlaps the world of the cursed spirit and sorcery, a.k.a. Jujutsu Kaisen. A lot of new stuff coming up. Beyond Ireland, of course, we're going to be in June going to ICCC, some other stuff, a little bit of stuff in July, a lot of stuff in August. We've got STLV 60 years of the Star Trek themed franchise awesomeness in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's a 5-day event. I'm excited out the wazoo for that. It's going to be awesome. Trekkies, if you're really intention there, always we love you Star Wars fans and Battlestar and Stargate and beyond. All the goodies. Also, we're going to be after that. We just got an invite yesterday. I was on my good buddy John Goodwin of Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast on United Public Radio. He invited us to come down to WorldCon, which is in Anaheim, California, right about a week or two after STLV 6. I'll be doing that. Already got accommodations and everything set up, looking like that's a rock and roll. And then that brings into September. Taking a little break, but we will be back in Las Vegas to hang out with a good buddy of mine. My buddy is the senior producer of one of the nation's number one AM late night talk show, Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. So we're going to be doing that. A lot of cool stuff. Scorpions, the band. It's maybe one of their last shows. They're getting a little older, but they still rock it, man, according to what Tom says. Got some other cool articles on. This is a cool one that Michael Smith put together. Michael Smith put this awesome article together. I wanted to show you all this. y'all like space or science and sci-fi physics, this is the science behind your favorite sci-fi movies. Fact versus fiction. Deals with everything from war for your Trekkie fans, interstellar travel, including Star Wars, artificial gravity on spaceships, what they get right, what they lightsabers and plasma weapons. Speaking of lightsabers, this is the right one. We just got these in, and we've got pretty much access to any top tier sabers, equally as good as Theory Sabers and all those good companies that you know of. This is hand laid Air Force grade aluminum, Profi 2.2. Do not have the blade attached, but if you power it up, there's the beat button. You go, boop. You can change the fonts. You get that, and then it should click on. I think this is the one I powered up the other day. Hold on, you got this one is in reset mode because I've been charging these on a rack here for the last day. Let that one sit. We do have the Obi-Wan sabers here. This particular one is a mid tier. I do have our Profi. This one's pretty cool though. It's really heavy. It's got a cool sound effect, and it goes. There you go. And then it's got all the sound effect good. And then you can hold it down and turn it off. All of these charge via the boards via USB-C, I believe, which is really cool because that's a very universal charge port. We also have in our shop at Shopify, which is down here on the bottom, kind of media area kid sabers, which are RGB. Also have RGB SN, which can be programmed with Bluetooth. And these are pretty cool. It has that, and it goes, that's green. You can also change the colors on it. These will change colors, and we've got just tons. Pretty much any replica from any different character in the entire franchise, including Yoda, Mace Windu, Darth Maul, as you saw there. We got both hilts that turn together with the Profi board in both hilts with the NeoPixel. The blade that can go up and down and bling out and do all kind of bells and whistles and font sounds that you can upload and anything and everything. And we have other ones that are new that we're going to be released. We also have a partnership with a beautiful company called Factory Entertainment, and we can pretty much get you anything they have. As part is on. Also, if you notice, it's on our Shopify section on the site. If you go to the site, my allergies been acting up really bad. It's the pollen season. If you go to the site here, at the very top of the site, you'll see this thing says shop. Just click that, it shoots to the Shopify instant hypercut link. We're also doing some other stuff, which we're going to be doing a physical, working with a collaboration with a physical brick and mortar company here in Texas, which will be, stay tuned for that. We're going to have a shop in their store. Big section of the store will be our shop, which you can get sabers like this and a lot of vintage collectibles, which parlays into our discussion today, which we're going to be talking with Michael about retro collecting, sci-fi, Star Wars, and all those goodies. So stay tuned. I might want to mention and get some thoughts from him and pick his brain about some of that stuff, because he definitely knows his vintage and Star Wars collecting at that. For people that do not know Michael Havens before he joins the podcast here in about 5-6 minutes, he is the founder of ICCC. Now, what is ICCC? It is named the Imperial Commissary Collectors Convention, the convention, but the ICCC is the Imperial Commissary. They have I believe, probably the largest sub in our main groups of vintage Star Wars collectibles. No repro, only original. But they have the biggest group of and subgroups on the internet for vintage sci-fi collecting. I'm going to go to their page. This is their collector page. We're going to bring this and replace screen sharing here real quick. Wanted to show you all this. They also have their convention. We're going to the convention first. I think this might be the convention page. Let's replace screen sharing. All this thing here is amazing. This is like the coolest software. They've upgraded this thing and blinged it out to the max, by the way. This is the page for, but this is a convention page. Convention page is cool. It's their 8th year they've been doing ICCC. They've got free parking, so you don't have to pay to park a car. It was really cool. It's a very cool venue. The venue is in Murfreesboro, which is like a real nice Beverly Hills suburb of Nashville. Very clean, very beautiful complex. I think like a 20 or 25,000 square foot convention vendor hall with all these little areas and ballrooms and things to hold the panels. They've got a podcast stage. I'll let him tell you more about that. But they have all kind of goodies, artists, actors. There's several key people from sci-fi going to be there this year. A lot of people that are part of the creation of the Kenner toys from back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. People that have worked on the movies. I think Lauren Peterson is going to be there this year, which I'm really about that. Because Lauren is just amazing. Of course, one of the founding fathers of working on the back history of all the men models and special effects for Star Wars. They have just tons of stuff. They have mocktails from the cantina. This is cool. This is another broadcast that Michael was on. They have a really good one. High shout out to them. Our good friends at Hyperspace Heroes, they'll be there. We were on their show last year. That was an absolute blast, just geeking out. But this is the ICC Facebook page. Actually, this is the group. The group is here. ICC. This is their entertainment website Facebook page for the event venue, which is the premier sci-fi and convention with attendees, vendors, and movie stars from all over the world. This is Michael. This is an announcement we did today. We shared this as the story. If you're joining us on this broadcast, it is 3 p.m. CST almost on May 22nd, 2026 broadcast. We're going to have Michael Havens on here shortly, so stay tuned on that. My name is Owen C. Cotter. If you're watching this transmission digitally simulcasting on YouTube, X, Twitch, Facebook, I think there's like 300-something thousand fans on that. TikTok, it won't let us stream on that. Sorry, not yet. I have to get the API integrated. Aaron says, woohoo, Ghost Protocol. Yes, Ghost Protocol. For people joining us earlier in the broadcast, is a near future thriller, military sci-fi of sorts, taking place in the near future, 5 to 10 years roughly. And it's amazing. It's a franchise that's close to my heart. Some of my buddies are former military veterans, including my friend Shiloh Harris. You may have known him. He's a speaker and an author now. Daniel Gilliott, who will be at the Ballymena event, which we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. Him and his wife will be there speaking. We're bringing some of the soldiers over to the event, as well as Chris, who they're going to be dedicating the library to, which we'll be talking more about. Maybe do a live stream sometime, either before or maybe when we get back. We want to do a Steam stream of the new Dracula Dark Reign video game that Incubate Games has put together with Spacebot Interactive and Mod Retro. But it's going to be one of the flagger new titles on Mod Retro, which is Lucky Palmer's video game portable goodness. So we'll look at that. Stay tuned to that. We're also going to do some new formats. If you would like to be a guest on the SciFiction broadcast, feel free to DM us or PM us or whatever it's called on Facebook. We're predominant, or Instagram, but Facebook's probably the best way, or email us. If you want to contact us, this is how you contact us. I'm going to show you on the contact right here. To contact us on the internet, or the interwebs as they call it, the interwebs, you just go up here and click this contact button and then just fill out your name and submit your message. Go photon torpedoes or proton torpedoes away in the Star Wars universe. It'll shoot it up to the bridge. As you know, you do not need to open all hailing frequencies on channels. Fill out this form to establish a secure communication link with the bridge of SciFiction. So there's that. We have another little category here. We wanted to mention this right quickly. Sponsorships. Yes, I'm going to be a salesman for 5 seconds. We are happy and very honored to say we now have broken over 350,000 social followers. Thank you, the fans, for that. Our audience is predominantly 65.8% U.S.-based with a core demographic of men ages 25 to 44. Sweet spot for all the sci-fi geeks and everybody like myself. This is very conservative numbers. This month, I think we reached 1.6 million views on one platform and a bunch of other stuff. We reached just this in a month. But these are conservative numbers. We got a lot of packages here. If you're interested in sponsoring us and we can help us get to these events and pow it out and do more light speed, warp speed stuff for all y'all fans, and I'm as well, just figure out, we got different packages. I'm not going to sell you too much on that. Just go down the drop down, click sponsor. On the back burner in the Quantum Leap waiting room is a man that is our guest today. So we're going to bring him on. This is Michael Havens. So let's bring him on here. Let's get some things calibrated here. That. And we are live and vibe as Thunderbirds. 4, 3, 2, 1. We are live with Michael Havens.
I liked your photo, so I wanted to recreate it.
That's awesome. Like Knight Rider.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How's your day going? How you been, man?
Great, man. No complaints. Got to see a new Star Wars movie last night. That was awesome. So I
saw it as well early afternoon, though, about 2, 3 p.m. It was amazing. We saw it in this thing that had a screen in the front and 2 screens on the sides. Everything's like 270 perspective.
Oh, that's cool, man.
And
we did the IMAX, and then actually we're going tomorrow morning. We're going to the 4DX where the seats move and stuff.
Oh, those are like you can flying in the Razor Crest, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for it.
How have you been? What you been up to? I know you've got the IC Foundation, IC for Life. I wanted to mention that in the broadcast a little bit.
IC for Life, man. That's been taking some time. It's actually really cool. We started it up about 3.5 years ago, trying to get it push through for federally licensed nonprofit and 501c3 status and all that fun stuff. But essentially what it is, it's kind of like a insurance policy for collectors.
Yes.
What you do is you buy a membership, and then if you happen to pass away, what we do is we'll contact your family. We'll say he had this policy in place. And what it does, if you would like to take advantage of it, is we take the entire collection, catalog it, auction it all on the IC for Life auction, the charity auction, sell it all. And then that way we can get you the proper prices for things. Because you know how it is with collectibles. You have some things that might look almost exactly like the other one, but one's worth $1,000 and one's worth $100, you know?
It's like Pokemon cards. Have you heard about that? Those things are selling more than stocks now, man.
It's crazy, man. Pokemon cards have taken off. That's the younger generation. A lot of those TikTok kids and tech billionaires, you know, collecting the Pokemon.
Was it the guy, Logan Paul, that bought like the $500,000 Charizard?
Yeah, he wears it on a chain or something. I don't know.
It's like Mr. T, but
people do different things. I don't know. But yeah, no, what it does is and it gets the most amount of money for the family. So it gets a bunch of money for the family, and also all the fees for the family. They're less than eBay, so they're minimal fees. But all those fees count as a donation to IC for Life charity. So the family gets a donation receipt for that, so they could write it off against their taxes at the end of the year for those fees. But essentially, the reason why I came up, I run so many Facebook groups about collecting and stuff like that. When somebody would pass away on the Facebook group, their significant other would write me and say, Mike, I don't know what to do. I have an entire collection room here. What do I do? And I'd be like, well, you sell it. And this is how you do it. And I try to teach them how to do it. But if you're not used to it, I mean, it's very hard to teach somebody how to like sell stuff, and then let alone them understand what the variants are, the differences, and the rarity of the collectibles. But we know all that. So we put that knowledge.
Yeah, y'all have a very extensive knowledge base. Talk a little bit about that with the ICCC. There's the groups on Facebook, the podcast, the event. You kind of go over the architecture.
Sure, brother. What happened originally is 15 years ago now, I think. I started.
It's been a while.
Right. I started a Facebook group, and I started it up just because I was buying and selling the toys from my childhood. Not even selling, really, just buying to get a collection. My wife got me a Luke Stormtrooper for an anniversary, and I put it up on the shelf, and there's nothing lonelier than one Star Wars figure on a shelf. So I'm like,
it's a good one.
I'm going to get the complete set, and I started collecting them. And I noticed that Facebook was where a lot of buying and selling of collectibles happens. So I was on a few Facebook groups, and I was buying so many collectibles that I started doing a contest where I said, I did a zoom in picture and I did a black and white picture, and I said, who am I? And if you guessed the vintage figure, you would win the complete vintage figure. That's awesome. I was doing that for like 6 months, and then the admins of that page were saying, don't play this game because he's trying to get your addresses so he can come steal your collection. I said, you know what? You guys are crazy. I'm just trying to be a nice guy. I got 1 million of these things. I'm giving them away. So I was like, forget you. I'll start my own page. And that's where the Imperial Commissary started. About a year into the Imperial Commissary, some of the members from the group that were solid members, they're like, we got to do a real life meetup. So I said, fine. And I was going up to the Lexington Comic-Con. And
Kentucky.
Kentucky, yep. And I put a post up on the IC, and I said, hey, does anybody have a place in Lexington? We're probably going to go to like a bar or something and have an IC meetup. And this one guy reached out. He was on the group, and he's like, dude, I own a toy store and a comic book store up there. You guys can just use it. Come do your thing. And I was like, all right. So 15 of us total got together, and I bought Little Caesars pizzas and 2-liter bottles of soda, and we watched the Revenge of the Jedi trailer that I happen to own on a, those old school projectors from
Was it real or laser disc?
Because real, where it goes like tick, 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 tick,
light, little spoon.
Yeah, totally, man. So we put it on a wall. That's where this started. Put it on a wall, and we watched it, and then Kim Simmons showed up. And Kim Simmons is the guy that took the pictures.
Yep. The man who shot Luke Skywalker, I believe, right?
Yeah, the man who shot Skywalker. So he took like the pictures on the boxes,
right?
So, like all the boxes from our childhood, like these are Kim Simmons pictures, and he ended up showing up, and then that ended up being, oh my gosh, this weird little meetup has like the original dude that took all the pictures for the Star Wars thing. So that started hyping it. So the 15 people For the next one, went to 35. For the next one, it went to 80. For the next one, it went to 100. And then by the time it was, I think it was like 2017 or something, we had 500 people at a meetup, which is like crazy.
It's pretty
intense. So I went down. I said, we're going to do the first meetup in Tennessee. And I went down to the Williamson County AG Expo Center. You were there.
Yes, I was.
And I was going to rent their little meeting room. It's 4,000 square foot room. And I was on the phone with a buddy while I was trying to rent it. And the older lady that runs the joint was like, well, it's only $10,000 more to rent the entire rodeo arena. So he convinced me on the phone. He was like, dude, you always go big or go home. Just do it. And I was like, okay. They don't tell you at that time that it costs $50,000 to keep it air conditioned for that weekend.
Yeah, that's a lot of heat in there.
Nobody talks about that.
It was good. I didn't have a problem with the heat, man. It was actually pretty cool for me.
Plus, I paid for the air conditioning, brother. That's why.
Yeah,
that was so much. $50,000 to keep it cool, brother. But and that's where we met because I was like, all right, forget it. We'll just do a meetup, and I have this giant thing. Let's try to get some celebrities and do a convention.
Is that the you had Shatner, William Shatner? Yeah.
The way I got William Shatner is I was going every single guest star I could think of. I was finding their website, and if you go to the bottom of the website or the about page, you'll find a phone number. And I was cold calling those phone numbers over and over and over. And then Shatner was the one that said, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." And then once Shatner did it, I got the Shatner's like the big great white shark of Star Trek. So he has a bunch of the Remoras that stick with him, So, yeah, I got a bunch of Star Trek people, and then we had a bunch of Star Wars people at that, and we threw the convention in a rodeo arena, and very few people came, and I lost tons of money, but it was wonderful. It was a beautiful thing. And that was the first year. And that's how it happened. It completely organically. It's all volunteer. There is no money to be made because we want to make sure that we pass on the feel of it and the heart of it to the attendees. So we allow a lot of things that no other convention does, like room sales at night and all the different things at night, which take away money from the convention, but it makes magic. You know what I mean? Those are the choices.
Man, I love the room sales. I went into one, I think it was last year or the year before, and I got a mint in the box cantina playset from 1970s, and it had like a pristine box and a bunch of other stuff. But the coolest thing about that is it's like a Comic-Con in the floors. Everybody puts like the banner. We'll be in room 5 with all the vintage, Return of the Jedi stuff or whatever. And the lobby sales too, which is kind of cool. But they have the coolest thing about the music, the live rock and roll.
Yeah, man, we have live music.
Tino and all the guys down there rocking and roll. Tell them about that.
I never saw a convention that has live music, right? And I always thought, why don't you have live music? I mean, who wouldn't want to see live music at a sci-fi convention, right? So we started it, and it's grown so much, and people enjoy it so much that, every single year, a bunch of celebrities get up there on stage, and they're rocking out, which is crazy because really, I don't even ask them to. Yeah. It just happens. So I don't know why conventions don't do live music, man, but they should. It's super fun. And, if you got a drink in your hand and you're hanging out and it's in the afternoon or whatever, or between things that you're doing, pop a seat, and we got chairs, which is something no other convention has either. And sit down in a chair, take a break, listen to some live music, We even have the circus with the aerial skywalkers where they do the spinning like, what is it, Ka or whatever? Or
kind of like a Circus Soleil types.
Yeah, they do the spinning on the ribbons and stuff. And we'd like to do things like that, man, because even though it's a sci-fi convention, it doesn't mean it can't have a whole bunch of fun things. We've had crazy stuff in the past. We had a demolition derby one year. We had a helicopter one year. We had a zoo one year where we had an alligator dressed as Loki.
Yeah, the demolition derby. I remember the Loki. I got a picture of that. The demolition derby was the one you had. That was not the one at the equestrian. That was at a hotel, or where was that at?
That was at the in Lebanon there at the big fairgrounds. That was just so big. It was too big. Yeah. But there was a demolition derby rink over there. And I was like, can I do that? And they're like, if you can insure it, you can. So I called my insurance guy. He figured it out. And we had like 10 dudes crashing into each other at night. And it was super fun. But it had like nothing to do with like making money. You know what I mean? Like there was no money in it. I gave away money to pay the winners of the Demolition Derby, but
That's cool.
those are the fun, weird, different things that happen at this show, and it's because it's not a corporate convention, and there's nobody besides me that owns any of it. So if I have a crazy idea, I just make it happen, and that's what's really made this show so neat and different. It's not like any other Comic Con in the world because
I've never seen anything like it. And I have a question for you that, you've got a lot. I mean, there are a lot of great events out there, but you've got like, these ones that are kind of like, I would call them more like, corporatized, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
They're not like, and they're corporate, they're great events. They have actors, but you kind of, gotta be careful of the words in this, but you just kind of corral the fans, get a photo, get an autograph, next. And
yeah, very cookie cutter.
Yeah, very cookie cutter platform, very cookie cutter motif. And I've always liked the fact that your event's very like family friendly, first off. It's like a community. Everybody's hanging out. It's like they've come over to their brothers or their buddy's house down the street, like you say, and hey man, how's it been? Let's play some video games. They got everything. All the fan clubs is very relaxed, but very fun. A lot of people, a lot of great like last year, I believe you had the original Ninja Turtles cast, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's one of the things that was my thing. I always loved the Ninja Turtles when I was a kid, and I had the opportunity to get 2 of them, and I was like, well, I got to find the rest of them. And so I ended up getting all the Ninja Turtles, April O'Neil, and Shredder. And I have actually this awesome pair of sneakers that I bought. That's Ninja Turtle sneakers that I had them all autographed. But those kind of things are what happens because it's not that corporate convention, because it's just one crazy nerd that's running it. So, right. I mean, you're never going to get a multi-billion-dollar company to work out the details for a helicopter or for a demolition derby. I mean, that comes across their plate. They're like, "Are you crazy?" You know what I mean? And they immediately discard. But I'll figure it out, man. I mean, why not? And that's why cool stuff happens. The other thing, as you were saying, the room sales and the family factor and the camaraderie factor, that all comes because at ICCC, it's not you have to pay to play for everything. You know what I mean? And that's the way every other convention is set up, and no fault to them. They're businesses, and it's a business that you run like a business, and I understand. It's complete insanity to let people sell toys out of their room all night when you're selling vendor tables to sell toys, But I don't mind because the room sales, they create that. All right, when we were little kids, right, we used to go to a sleepover. And you'd hang out with your friends, and you'd all play with toys or show and tell or talk about whatever or watch movies. And that's what I wanted to cultivate. I wanted to give us back that piece of nostalgia that we're missing from our lives from being little kids. You know what I mean? So that's why everything is all immersive. We don't allow T-Mobile booths. We don't allow rain gutter booths. We don't allow – and I turned down all this money, which from a business perspective is stupid. It's money. You take it. But
it's passion too. It's passion.
I don't want to ruin the magic, and that's why we don't have that kind of stuff, and that's why we have such different things than any other convention, because many of them make no business sense. You want to know why you can't find a seat at a convention, any other convention? Because they don't want you sitting. They want you walking and spending money.
Right.
I don't care. Go sit on the couch and talk to your friends for 8 hours. What does it matter to me? You know what I mean? I'm not trying to make money off it. I'm trying to literally create magic. And that's where the magic comes from, hanging out with your pals. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it really is magical. This year's eighth anniversary of ICCC.
8th anniversary, man. Ain't dead yet, huh?
I'm looking forward to year 10. We were at an event, the only other event, and I highly recommend this, the only other event I have ever been to that I know of that had live music was the Starch STLV event in Vegas. And they had Greg Grunberg, who played the gentleman who was the X-Wing pilot. Snap Wexley, I believe his name was.
Yeah.
And he has a rock and roll band. His band's pretty interesting. It consists of like the guy from the Orville and stuff. He's good people. There you go. Maybe a good guess. But that was the only other time I've ever seen music. And Stephen Costantino, who's usually at your event, who's a buddy of mine as well, he has a amazing band. There's some other bands there as well. Can you go over some of the music and some of the other activities you've got going on this year at this event? And then we'll get into the guests.
Yeah, for sure, man. The bands we have running at different times all day, and they also run at night. And the guest stars do hop up there and they rock out, and they do. They call themselves the Con Men, and they get up there and they rock out, and they really enjoy it, and they really have a good time. Also, the guest stars, we kind of try to have them stay at the same hotel, and we treat them really, really good, and we give them a beautiful guest star dinner when they come as a welcome, and we take care of them, and we go the extra mile, and we give them a bottle of wine, and so on and so forth. What that's done is it makes the guest stars hang out. So you'll be hanging out at night, and all of a sudden you'll be sitting next to the, like, I remember Angus McGinnis, God rest his soul, but he passed away. He was a Y-Wing pilot in Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
And I remember seeing a picture of him at the room sales, sitting on some dude's bed, holding a Y-Wing. That
awesome.
kind of stuff happens because we treat everyone as family. Whether you are an attendee or you're a guest star, you're treated as family, and that makes those worlds mash. Because you know, we don't have people like going around hunting them for a picture or hunting them for an autograph, but they'll be like, "Hey man, could I buy you a beer? I really liked you in Return of the Jedi." And that creates that special thing. I'm quite sure as you're walking around at night or whatever, you run into guest stars. They're not hidden away like other shows. So we try to do that. We try to blur that line between convention and just hanging out with everybody for the weekend. Also, we have tattoos. You get a tattoo. We have table games where they play D&D and everything. They're even running some nighttime games for the hardcores that want to play 8 hours at night. That's fine.
Sabak too, I believe the Sabak.
Yeah, they got the Sabak. It's the official Sabak league comes, and they teach you how to play, and they'll also play live Sabak games. They have playing card games like the Star Wars one or Pokemon or whatever. They do different tournaments of that. We have video game tournaments and video games. We have an awesome cosplay contest. That
thing's insane. They have some of the coolest costumes. Like last year,
did you see the guy that was Mars Attacks last year? I have no idea how he fit into the outfit, but he was a Mars Attacks alien and looked like he fell out of the movie.
There's like 4 crown jewels last year. It was like a whole bunch, but one I thought was interesting was that one, Baxter Stockman from Turtles. And they had like I don't know, this thing was taller than me. It was a Wampa. And the Wampa was huge, man. That was like 10 feet, 12 feet tall.
And they had how they do it.
Cobra Commander and Darth Maul look really dead on. There's a whole bunch.
Yeah, Darth Maul was great. I got some awesome pictures I've been using of Darth Maul.
I saw it.
Because it's just he was like, it's like, dude, you got to like never eat like bacon or any ice cream ever and just work out all the time because he was like Darth Maul. He looked like Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm. One of our buddies actually is there's I think 3 or 4 Darth Mauls. There's Ray Park, the dude Steven or something did like the voice or whatever. Sam Witwer. Sam Witwer. And then there's number 4, the elusive number 4, which is a buddy of mine named John Mangus. And John Mangus was the Darth Maul for the episode 3D release. All the marketing material, all the cups, it's all him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was down there. My other buddy who passed away, Brian Hill Jr., with a radio show called The Weekend Geek, he was the Darth Vader they chose for that. But I don't think John's acting anymore. He's done a lot of stuff in movies and stuff, but he's a cool cat. I think he's doing like politics or city council or something like that.
He was.
Nothing to do with Star Wars or collecting. But let's get back to the event. You've got a lot of guests here, and we're going to go over some of these guests, and we're going to scroll real slow.
I actually went a little bit overboard on guests. I got too many guests this year.
No, they're good.
Right. It would be fun.
I love it.
Well, the rules for the guest stars always at ICCC is they have to be recommended, and people have to have said before, "Oh, they're really, really nice to the fans." Yeah, that's important to me. If you don't respect your fans, I don't want you at ICCC. I don't care who you are. I don't, so that's why we get the nice ones, and that also helps with the interaction factor. The hanging out factor and stuff like that, because they're the nice people that appreciate their fans. Bruce Boxleitner is huge, man. He's been in everything. I remember him very, very strongly from Scarecrow and Mrs. King. I love that show.
The Kenny Rogers Western movies, too, the Gambler movies. Those are awesome.
Yeah, for sure, dude. He's done actually a ton of Western stuff. And also he's Tron from Tron, which is important. And Babylon 5. He was a captain in Babylon 5, yep. And that's where we get Claudia Christian, who was his second in command on Babylon 5. I thought it would make a cool photo op. And I actually just watched all the Babylon 5s like 8 months ago. And that's why I was on Babylon 5. I'm telling you, man, if you just look at my viewing history, you can see every single thing I pick out for the convention. There's 2 guys on here that are on here. They happen to be in Star Wars, which is great. But they're on there because I was playing this video game a lot, and they're both in it, and I wanted to meet them. So
John Ratzenberger too, which is a great one.
John Ratzenberger is so cool, man. That's Cliff Clavin from Cheers. Every single Pixar movie ever, he's had a voice in. Toy Story 5's coming out. He's in that. But he's also Commander Durlin from Star Wars.
Yes.
So and
Rebel on the Hoth.
Yeah, on Hoth. Yep. William Catt, The Greatest American Hero. I just watched that series. Like, it was on Tubi. So I watched that like 9 months ago. So that's where I got him, because I was like, I love The Greatest American Hero now. So there you go. And he's got a great theme song that's a real earworm too, which is good. Carol Silva, that's one of the We Are Star Wars collectors picks. She's never signed in America. Really hard to get. Everybody loves Padme's Handmaidens, and that's a really hard signature to get. So that's why we scooped her up. Ahmed Abadai.
It's all good.
Gee whiz, man. I got to get it right before I actually shake his hand. But I could just be like, hey, Ahmed, how you doing? You know, I'll get away with it there.
He did a real nice.
He was Mandalorian, and I thought he was a really cool character, man. So that's why I wanted him to come, because I thought he's a really cool Star Wars character.
Very cool Star Wars character, and I liked him in the Mandoverse. I thought he was really interesting character at that.
Yeah,
very interesting character. You got a lot of good stuff here.
Thanks, man.
There's Steven. There's our boy Steven.
Steven, you know why Steven always comes? Steven always comes because the very first year, I didn't know you have to hire a cleanup crew at the end of a convention. I thought it just happens with the venue. So when the venue ends, everybody leaves, and all the vendors leave garbage, and all the guest stars leave garbage, and there's a billion coffee cups around, and there's dirt and spills and this and that, and I didn't know you had to have a team, right? So it was my wife, Andrea, and I, and then Steven Constantino had a really late flight, and he said, I'll help you. I don't mind, man. So he was in there helping us pick up flyers, pick up garbage, sweep out the place, and I was like, Steve, you are the coolest guy ever. I appreciate you so much. You can always come back to ICCC. So he has been there for 8 years. He's come every single year, man.
He's awesome.
But that's why Steve always comes. He's just a good dude that helped out when we needed help, which is the whole point of ICCC. So, and Lateef Crowder is huge. He does all the stunts for Mandalorian.
Yes,
and he's third billing on that new movie. That
Brendan Wayne, him, and I think Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, no, dude, I was so happy when they gave him and Brendan Wayne. Brendan Wayne came last year, but when they gave them like billing, you know, like literally put them on the screen at the beginning of the Mando movie, because they
are Katie Sackhoff last year as well.
Yeah, we had Katie Sackhoff last year. Yep. And then we got Michael Carter, who's Bib Fortuna. He's a fan favorite, really hard to get because he's from England, and he's also.
I've never seen him at an American event unless maybe it was like a celebration or something. I don't know.
I have good connections in England, and also, thankfully, to our location, wonderful Nashville, put in a direct flight. The year we opened the convention, they opened the lane, and we have a direct flight from London to Nashville. So that's why I'm able to pull some of these British people that nobody else gets, because it's not like 12 different connection flights, which is really
from London to Texas, the West Coast or whatever.
Get on the plane in London, get off the plane in Nashville. It's a lot easier.
I'll be in London this Sunday myself, so I'm kind of never been there. Have you been there? Is it cool? Have you been to the airport at least?
Yeah, we've been quite a few times. My brother actually went to college out there, so I went a lot when I was younger. And then we've gone over there for some Star Wars stuff as well. There's a fun toy show, and there's good Star Wars collectors. And I don't know. Yeah, I've been there quite a few times. I really like London. Love Bitter Lemon.
We're bouncing off of London actually just to go to Ireland for the dedication ceremony of one of your guests here actually too, Chris McCauley. We'll get to him in a second, but Lauren Peterson. This is a big one.
Yeah, Lauren Peterson is huge. If you know anything about Star Wars, ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, he's literally the guy. Yeah, good zoom. But he made all those props. He made our Star Destroyers and our Falcons and our pretty much everything you see, sandcrawlers, everything you see. And he was one of the major ILM guys all through the Star Wars movies, the originals. So, he's coming out. Really, really cool. Luke Kotek is my fan service thing. Stranger Things. Everybody loves Stranger Things. I've seen 2 seasons of Stranger Things. I think it's pretty good, but I'm not really a scary movie kind of guy. I kind of like happy things. And but yeah, there was a fan service there because my buddy was like, dude, you got to get somebody from Stranger Things. And I'm like, okay. And he played the young Will Byers in the most recent season. So I figured he's hip currently. So why not? And then No Share Doll is cool. He's in Star Wars. He's been in Rebels also. But I know him from that bottom left corner there. He's Jobe from Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yoshi, which is a video game that's really, really freaking awesome. If you like samurais, I highly suggest it.
Also, Mortal Kombat 1, too, I believe he was in.
Yeah. No, he's done tons of stuff. But when I'm like, dude, I've been playing Ghost of Yodi, man, and I really want you to come. And he's like, okay.
It's pretty good. It's on PlayStation 5.
That's probably my least important character, but if you like it, whatever, you know. And then these are really, really cool. Yes. I don't know if you remember Brave Star, but Robert Lamb made all the artwork for Brave Star, and Sean Lamb, his wife, wrote all the Brave Stars. She's written a bunch of books as well that are very, very popular. But Robert Lamb also made Darkwing Duck, He-Man. He's 90% responsible for everything involving He-Man, Skeletor, any of the art for that. So if you're into that, definitely come out. They came out with a new He-Man movie. I actually saw the preview last night at Mandalorian, and it looks super fun, man. I'll go watch it.
They kept the aesthetic too to the 1980s motif, which I really love.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. You know, we're the ones that are going to go and be like, "Oh, cool, a trap jaw," you know. So, but he's cool if you're into He-Man at all. He's massive. Also, Darkwing Duck is his as well.
Yes, I love all of my childhood, man.
Yeah, totally, dude. Nelson Lee is really cool. He is the senator in Star Wars. He's been in the new ones, Andor and stuff like that. Yes. But also, he is Snake in Ghost of Yodi, which is the one on the right there, like popping out
right here.
So, yep, that's my second. I love this video game. I want these guys person. But he's Snake in the new one. So, yeah, I was really excited about that. He's also done Call of Duty and a bunch of other stuff, too.
That's awesome. You got a lot of
Sean Crawford. Yeah, Sean Crawford's great, man. Fan favorite. He's a real sweetheart. He even makes his own swag for the con because he loves ICCC. He's from England as well, and he's the actor who played Yak Face,
which is a really rare figure of the last 17 auctions.
If you're a collector, he's a big deal. Yeah. And you know what's fun? If you ever meet Sean Crawford, if you're there and you have a Yak Face, you have a vintage Yak Face, he'll put you in his little fan club group thing. Okay. And he has like swag and stuff like that you get because you are in the Yak Face club because you have a vintage Yak Face. So tell him, and then
it's awesome.
There's like a pin and a whole bunch of different stuff. It's cool.
That's very cool. That's very, very cool. And you got some other guests. You got a lot of good guests. Jim Swearigan.
Jim is great. He's the reason why we have Star Wars toys. Yes. He was the major designer for the Star Wars toy line. And actually, Bernie Loomis was the guy that owned Kenner. Yes. And when Bernie Loomis got the script for Star Wars, after all the other toy companies said no, they didn't want to make them. Bernie Loomis got the script. He said no, threw it in his garbage. Jim Swearigan happened to be in that room at the time. He's like, I love sci-fi. You mind if I take it and read it? And Bernie was like, it's garbage. Go ahead. And Jim Swearigan went in the next day, slapped it down on Bernie Loomis's desk and said, we have to make the toy line for this. It's phenomenal. It's going to be epic. It's going to be around forever. We have to be the company that makes these. And that's where the Star Wars toy line came from, is Mr. Jim Swearigan right there. He also designed the X-Wing 12-inch Boba Fett. He's the one that made the Kit Bash Boba Fett for the rocket firing, which is like the rarest. Holy grail, right? Yeah, nobody knows where it is. He doesn't even know where it is anymore. But it was the very first original
That's the one that was a prototype with unpainted.
Yeah. Right. Prototype of Boba Fett is Jim Swearigan. Paul Darnell is cool, great stuntman, been in a million Hollywood movies. He was Superman. He was a whole bunch of other things, but he's also been a ton of characters in Star Wars, from Inquisitors to Mandalorians to Stormtroopers to all this different stuff. Great stunt actor and been in tons of movies. So very, very interesting guy to talk to as well. Tim Effler is cool. He made every single one of those toys you see around there. He created all of those, which are like our childhood wrapped up in a box.
Literally.
But he also, his cool thing, the reason why he's in that picture with Spielberg right there, is because Spielberg went to Kenner and said, we'd like to do Jurassic Park toys. And so Tim Swearingen pitching Spielberg, that's him pitching Spielberg for the Jurassic Park toy line to come to Kenner. And what he did is he took a bunch of old 12-inch G.I. Joe Jeeps, and he drew that symbol at the top left there, the Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park, the bones, and he put those on the side of the Jeeps. And so when he was doing the pitch, he was like, here's the Jeep, you know, and then we'll have
that's the prototype, like the early phase.
Right. And before they even had the toy line, you know, this is their pitch. So in that pitch meeting, Spielberg said, where'd you get that logo? Who owns that logo? And he's like, I just made it up like yesterday. And Spielberg is like, well, what do you want for it? He's like, you can have it. Give Kenner the toy line. Okay. So the Jurassic Park logo that we all know that is on every poster and every T-shirt and everything is his creation. Tim Effler made that. Besides all of those awesome toys like starting lineup and Indiana Jones and
Ghostbusters,
Atari, and like, dude, it's crazy. Yeah, Play-Doh.
You got the little football game there from the 1980s.
Yeah, you remember that one?
Bloop, I have bloop, bloop, bloop. Indiana Jones down there. Indiana Jones is hard to find with his little pistol and whip.
Oh yeah. That was a Swearingen Effler creation there. And then Nelson Hall is cool. Nelson Hall was Boba Fett in the special edition. He was also a stormtrooper. He also he's a model engineer from ILM. So kind of like the Lauren Peterson type situation. If you look at the top right corner, he made like a bunch of the characters and stuff for the special editions. Top left corner is him like in the Sarlacc pit making Sarlacc pit. Yeah, so he's a prop designer, and also at ILM lots of times if they were shooting a scene, they would walk up to somebody and say, hey, dude, you're the size of Boba Fett. We need you to get in the outfit right now and do this. So awesome. He's a bunch of the scenes in the special edition as Boba Fett or a stormtrooper or something like that, too.
You got some other ones here, too. There's a lot of cool guests, too, you got here, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Howie Weed is cool, man. He's the Wampa. So there you go. I'm sure whoever was in the Wampa outfit last year is psyched. But yeah, Howie Weed is the Wampa. So if you want a picture with the Wampa or get him to autograph something, there he is.
We need the Wampa there with him signing with the picture with both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come Wampa. Whoever's in the Wampa, come back. That was awesome.
Yeah, you got to come back. Tom O'Connell is cool. He was a late addition, but he gave me a call, and I was like, yeah, dude, that sounds great. He does all the action sequences. He's the stuntman.
He's the swordman for Obi-Wan. Okay.
Yeah, if you ever see Darth Vader doing anything besides standing or walking or talking, it's him. So all the fight scenes, all the action sequences, everything is Tom, which is really cool. He's also all the action scenes for the Heavy Mandalorian there at the bottom left.
Yes, that's the big one. Yeah. Without spoiling it, he met his demise like a boss too, by the way.
He did, yeah, sure enough, man, with that chain gun rattling off.
Yeah, I love that character. I love all the characters. Obi-Wan, I was excited when they did the trailer for that, and I'm like, this is great because he always ends up on Tatooine. Why not tell like a connector story between that and A New Hope? And there you go. And it also, I like the fact that they did the hybridization when he cracks his mask and it's half Anakin, half James Earl Jones. And he says, I killed Anakin Skywalker, it was like hybrid, like half and half, like mirrored flip of the coin, light and dark. It was interesting. That was very interesting.
They came out with a toy of that too. It's pretty cool.
Oh, they did? Oh,
yeah. There's like a 3 3/4 of that.
Get that. That's cool.
Guy Gilchrist is awesome. He is Jim Henson's cartoonist. So Muppet Babies, anything involving a cartoon, involving anything Jim Henson related is him. He also created our first TV Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
So that's another Ninja Turtle nod there. Tom and Jerry, stuff like that. Lots of stuff. Kathy down there on the bottom. Animal, anything involving Muppets. But he's really great. And actually, if you get an autograph from him, he'll always hook you up with like a picture too. Oh, so absolutely. Like if you bring him a pop or something, he usually like paint pens like a Grogu on it or a Muppet Baby or whatever it is. He's really, really cool.
Doesn't he also do like guitars? I think he gifted one to Lando.
Yeah, totally. Sometimes he does artwork on guitars. He's actually been up on our stage before for the band. He's rocked out. He plays guitar. But yeah, he made one for Lando that was like this big Star Wars one or something, but it was an electric guitar.
Yes.
And he gave it to Billy D. Williams when he was here, and he was super psyched to get that.
And you got Ron Rudat too.
Ron Rudat is responsible for every single G.I. Joe toy between like 1970 and 1990. He created all the file cards, all the characters, all the sculpts. He created the Cobra insignia. He's probably the biggest reason for the G.I. Joe toy collection that there is. He's the Jim Swearingen of G.I. Joe toys.
Oh, G.I. Joe. That's awesome. I met him one year. We did an interview and got to talk with him for quite a while. Him and his wife are awesome people. And I got
man. Virginia, she's great.
That original art is like, that was giving me chills just seeing my childhood physically translated on this paper. I was, wow.
Oh yeah, man. Well, he always has original artwork with him from the originals and stuff like that. He also most of the He-Man characters he did as well. For the
maybe get him up with Rob and Sean Lamb to start geeking out a little bit.
Yeah, and he does all the WWF guys, all the rubber WWF guys was him too. So he's got a lot of that original artwork too. Which
now the original, when we first started the broadcast, one of the first two guests that popped up right on the list was Bruce Boxleitner and Claudia Christensen. Wanted to share this right quick. Our good buddy and my client, Chris McCauley, will be there. Now, he created a sci-fi universe called Dark Legacies with some of the surviving cast members of Babylon 5. And that's Bruce and Claudia. I think they're going to be signing there as well. Can you talk a little about, like, are they going to be doing a panel, or is there kind of like...
Yeah, they are. I actually just got the panel schedule. I don't know where it is, but I think it's at like 1:30 on Saturday or something. But they're doing a Babylon 5 Dark Legacies panel.
Oh, wow. It's going to be gold.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, and they got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, this year is coming up on, you got He-Man, of course. What's like the 40th anniversary of She-Ra this past year, and on the movie of He-Man coming out. I got to ask, when you do these awesome events, is there like, you kind of just, was it based on, like you said earlier, like you pick the guests based on what you're watching, or is there any kind of particular type of guest or things you look for kind of to rotate or incorporate into each developing year?
Honestly, they have to be nice. There's guest stars with bad raps. I don't like them.
Of course.
I think if you're writing your name for money, you should be nice to the people buying that.
Of course. Yeah.
But no, honestly, man, it's a combination of, are they hard to get? Right. Do you not see them all the time? Is it something I think is cool? Is it something that I want to see, someone I want to meet, something fun that I like? I don't know. So it's really, sometimes I end up in a theme, like we have a Babylon 5e type theme this year.
Cool.
But that's just because I just watched Babylon 5 8 months ago. So yes, it is. It's because one crazy nerd has control of this whole thing. And so you're essentially seeing my watch list and hanging out with my friends, and I invite other friends to come and hang out too. That's awesome.
You've got like some other guests. Yeah, I mean, it's a blast. And you've got Sarah Cravens here, and you got some other guys.
She's cool. She's she's the voice of like 8 billion things, especially stuff like that. I personally, it's very funny because when I talk to these people, they always think it's funny what I want them for. I liked her. She was a couple characters in Star Wars video games that I liked. So that's why I got her. And then she's like, I'm also this and I'm also this. And I'm like, well, that's great. Just send me a list and I'll put it in the bio. So it's in the bio. I also love God of War Ragnarok. I've played that a bunch of times. But she was Death Stick in Star Wars Uprising, which was like a really cool character, I thought. And that's why I wanted her. And she's like, that's one of the tiniest parts that nobody ever notices I did. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm a Star Wars nerd. So that's why I want you. It's great that you have an awesome resume. 8 billion people will love everything else that you made. But me personally, I'm looking to meet Death Stick from this one video game I played once. So
very cool. Freddie Coleman, I had a great conversation with him last year. Super nice guy.
Dude, he is about one of the best people to talk to. Because you just start him off with anything small and he will roll and tell you some of the best stories you ever heard. I remember I was at a dinner with him once up in Cincinnati, and we're sitting around the table and he starts telling this story about the Easy Bake Oven, because Kenner made the Easy Bake Oven. And he's like, what we did once is one of the guys was away. The manager, he's on the list too. We'll get to him in a minute. He was away, and what we wanted to do is we wanted to mess with everybody. So we put a bunch of flash powder in an Easy Bake Oven and put it in the meeting room, because there was like this big meeting, right? And
Yes.
so the Easy Bake Oven eventually hit the flash powder, which went boom, which ended up starting a fire. So it got smacked onto the floor and it burnt a giant hole in the carpet.
Oh, wow.
But since they are sculptors and designers and stuff like that, what they did is before their boss came back, because he was on vacation, they fixed the hole in the carpet, the giant hole, and just faked it like it was fine with like little pieces of felt and stuff and glue. And he's like, he never even knew, man. And it was hilarious because there was a giant hole in the carpet and we couldn't explain it because we like started a fire in the building, you know? And
that's a easy bake oven story that hopefully don't burn down your house.
That's something you got to put on the back of the box. Like, don't put flash powder in Easy Bake Oven. But he also created the ATST toy.
Yes.
He's the designer of that. He created a bunch of the play sets. He created the first Nerf gun, man.
Yes. Which is a very big popular
toys, Ghostbusters toys, Pirates of the Caribbean, a whole bunch of stuff. And he is a really cool guy. And he has one of those steel trap mines.
Yes.
So you could be like, hey, man, you guys went on an offsite for Kenner in 1978. What was...
I call that a digital memory.
And it would be like, here's a picture, and this is blah, 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 and he created this, and this is blah, 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 and he did this, and he's amazing, man. And he even has this set because he had the foresight when they first brought Boba Fett to the Kenner thing to show Boba Fett off and to make the new toy. Right. And he took all the pictures of that. So there's like all the internal pictures, and he'll show them to you, man. I think he even has like a card set he sells at his table.
I did see some of that when I was down.
But to think back then that like, wow, this is going to be a huge character. Let me take pictures of him in the Kenner office or getting his jetpack fixed or getting, you know what I mean? And it's really, really cool. And he's a great guy, but a great interview if you're a podcaster, a great person to talk to if you're just a nerd and want to learn stuff about old school collecting.
It's a lot of great guests too. You got Dimitri Karas.
Dimitri's really cool, man. He's actually really nice. I talk to him all the time. But he's been in a ton of stuff, but he's a ton of the characters in Mandalorian and all the new stuff. He's been Tusken Raiders, Stormtroopers. He's been a Squid Head character. He's been Nine Numb character, a bunch of different things. Death Trooper, the Pike Commander, Shore Trooper, a whole bunch of different stuff. But he's done pretty much Ahsoka and Mandalorian and Obi-Wan and all the new stuff. He was also in Terminal List, if you watch Terminal List, which I thought was super fun. And The Old Man was fun as well.
There's a zombie. The closest we got so far to a zombie stormtrooper too. One of the night trooper guards.
Yeah, the night troopers. I thought those were really cool, man.
They're awesome. There's a comic that they board like a Star Destroyer, and they're all infected zombies. I thought that was pretty nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah. But he's a great character and tons of great pictures for him to sign. I mean,
yes.
He's been
Simon Williamson, the legendary puppeteer and voice actor.
Simon Williamson's great, man. And he's another UK guy. Hardly does any shows in America. Really hard to get his autograph. But he was Max Rebo. He was also in Little Shop of Horrors. He was the plant.
Okay.
But he is a puppeteer and a costume actor. And that's what he's known for. And he's one of the nicest guys you'll know. And I figured it's Music City, got to have Max Rebo, right? So Max is coming over, man. But he's a great guy, super duper nice. He's been, I think, once before or twice before to ICCC.
Okay, very cool. And you got some others. So you got Bob Moore. That's another legend there.
Bob Moore is cool, man. Bob Moore is my neat little secret find this year. Bob Moore is a toy designer. He made all those Kenner Star Wars toys there. Yes. Made a whole bunch of different toys, but nobody's ever heard of him. I got him through Jim Swearingen. But he did like Mask, Strawberry Shortcake. He created the Leia Bausch. He created the Micro Han and Solo and Carbonite EV99, Reuse, Nine Numb, and Yak Face. So I thought it was really cool to get the guy that sculpted Yak Face and the guy that played Yak Face and put them in the same building.
That coin, that Yak Face coin, I've been trying to find one of those for.
That's worth a fortune, man.
I know it's like $1,000,
$750. Yeah, $1,000 now. But he's the guy who made the Yak Face coin. He actually did most of the cuts and designs for most of the coins in the Power of Force line.
Oh, wow. I did not know. That'd be a good one to talk to.
But nobody knows him. You go Google him, man, you won't find him anywhere. I only got that connect through Jim Swearingen, who's like, do you want Bob Moore? He's really cool and done a lot of figures. And I was like, yeah. I go,
Mike
like,
Smith.
Dude, we're nerds. We're dying to meet somebody nobody's ever met.
And these are legends.
Somebody nobody ever met.
Yeah, Mike Smith's done some stuff. He looks like he's done a little.
Mike Smith's a good guy. He made our collectible badges this year. You know how we always do the collectible badges.
They're very well done too.
But there's one of Mike Smith's badges right there. Here, I'll show you some others. I'm covering up the level that it gets you, just so we had a problem with somebody making fakes one year, so we don't release what each badge is until then. But these are Mike Smith's artwork. Mm-hmm. And he is an artist. We always do like very, very fancy badges and collectible badges. So you get that's Rom from if you're an old school collector. Mm-hmm. Chewbacca there. And then you got Boba Fett.
Nice.
And then Greedo.
Oh, very cool.
And then we got a nod to Spider-Man there.
And you got the Killer Croc in the background too.
Yeah,
that's
Killer Croc on the background. But that's Mike Smith. He's our badge artist for this year. And he also just created our new mascots, the Qubits. So we're gonna.
What are those? What is that?
Let me think where you could find them. If you go to news on the webpage.
Okay, let me share that up here. News on the webpage. So you scroll up here.
Yeah, it's at the top. Yeah.
News. There you go.
And then scroll down. Right there, that astronaut-looking guy. Those are going to be the new.
I like those. Those are cool, man.
Yeah, they're the Qubits. Qubit 1, Qubit 2, and Frank.
Frank. Why is it called Frank? Is there a reason for that? Or?
No, I just thought it would be fun when I was naming him. You know, like he's the crazy one that nobody knows, you know, he doesn't fit in or whatever. So I thought, you know, you got the normal ones, and then the one with the question mark is Frank, you know. Why? I don't know. But those are our new mascots. I always wanted a mascot for the convention because it is that kind of convention where it's not just some Comic-Con or something like that, man. It is like a family adventure, you know what I mean, or a sleepover. Or it needed a mascot, so those are our mascots, the Qubits. But they're really cool.
Yes, and the overall, just in your general opinion, what is the message of, you know, you got a lot of collecting, there's a lot of nostalgia, there's a lot of pop culture, a little bit of everything, sci-fi, Star Wars, Babylon 5, you name it. What is the overall, just like, what do you like people to take from the event when they come to the event, and just the overall, you know, motif?
Honestly, I want to give people 3 days, night and day, where they don't have to think about their problems. They don't have to think about bills. They don't have to think about politics. They don't have to think of the current state of the country or the world or the whatever. They don't have to worry about gas prices. They don't have to worry about cell phone service or Geico insurance stages or whatever that ruins it. I just want them to feel like they are in a galaxy far, far away for 3 days. And what that does to our attendees that come back every single year is it gives them the peace in their life to make it another year to the next show. We all look for it, and very few places give it to you. And I want it to be family friendly. I want it to be affordable, and I want it to be a completely immersive experience that really makes you feel like you're a kid again. And that's what I'm going for, man. Real life is tough, dude. I've got like 4 businesses in real life. I work all the time. And I, more than anybody, realize that a break is extremely crucial in order to keep going. But that's all ICCC is, and that's why it's not a moneymaker. I've never made money off a year of it yet. Maybe one day I'll make $5, and then that would be great. But it's not about that, and that's why I keep costs low. I keep it exciting. Our VIP, unlike any other VIP in the world, comes with food, drink, pie, ice cream, snacks, lunches every day, soda.
Free parking too.
Free parking too. I want to do free parking. I hate the way that, like every other convention in the world, you go and you're spending $45 before you even get in the door.
Trust me, I spent $60 or $70 on parking for one day at one event.
That's what I mean, man. And God forbid you want something to eat. It'll cost you $37 for a plate of orange chicken. I'll get you. There's an In-N-Out burger across the street. You know what I mean? All the prices are fair. You are not going to find a $19 soda anywhere. And I just
$19. That must be the best soda ever. Wow,
dude, I'm telling you, man. One of the major reasons why I started this is I was sitting at a corporate con. $750 badge around my neck, $750 badge around my wife's neck, sitting on one of those little white plastic folding chairs that, like, you got to use your toes to keep yourself up because they're like folded.
Not comfortable, man.
Not comfortable. and we're in the VIP room. There's a tepid water cooler in the corner. I'm eating a $35 plate of orange chicken I wouldn't feed my worst enemy, and I got a $9 Coke in my hand. And I was like, this is ridiculous. They're just like trying to suck all the money out of everyone's life.
So you can't buy any cool swag or comics or toys.
You can't buy nothing. I would much rather you keep the $45 for parking and get yourself another autograph. Meet one of your heroes on me. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to go for. Is I wanted a convention that's as big, beautiful, and wonderful and as exciting as any of the big corporate cons, but without any corporate feel.
Very cool. And
it's tough to do. And I don't want people coming to the con and spending their entire mortgage trying to have a good weekend with their family. My dream, dude, that's a lot with room sales and everything, my dream is for people to come and be able to not only break even, but make some money and go home and still have a wonderful convention all weekend.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to bang anybody out.
Vendors. Yeah. What kind of vendors? What kind of stuff? You got also grading for the toys. Like, have you had grading in the past? What kind of stuff we got to look forward to?
Well, we're weird, man. The thing is all right. Originally, the Facebook groups and everything, we started with this. No repro. We don't allow fakes or copies. Right. You can make customs; those are different. But if you're trying to make an exact copy of the original, it's not allowed. So we're the only convention in the world that doesn't allow repro. So you can say we're the most authentic collection in the world or convention in the world. No one else has that as any kind of stipulation. We actually have it as one of the very few rules on the back of the badge.
Oh, that's awesome.
Number one is no repro. You will get kicked out. We have had to toss a vendor or two before, and they don't get to come back. But the reason why is because we don't want people getting ripped off or scammed or anything like that. So
they want the original, authentic, Kenner and all the goodies.
Right. There's collectors that you want the authentic. I mean, if you want a Picasso, you save up your money and you get that Picasso. You don't get
want a reprint.
A copy. You don't go down to Kinko's and get yourself a 5-cent Picasso and then put it on your wall and be like, look at my Picasso. That would seem insane. But for some reason, it does happen with toys and collectibles, but not at ICCC. And that's the reason why we have so many authentication companies that come, because they know it is so important for our items to be authentic that they're more than happy to tie their names to it. So we have James Spence Authentication come for the autographs. We have CGC come for your cards and your comic books. We have CAS, Collectors Archive Service, that'll do toys and do comics and do video games and stuff like that. We have AFA.
Vinyl records too, right? Something like that.
You what?
I think they might do vinyl records as well.
Vinyl records too. Yep. We have AFA that does pretty much action figures and stuff like that. They do some video games and stuff like that too.
Yes.
But we have all these big time names for authentic services because we are an authentic convention. That's number one on our rule list. It's that important to us. And the reason why is we've always been fighting this no repro battle since the Imperial Commissary started. We're very, very strict on it. And some people out there are like, oh, the fake is just as good. That's fine, man. If you want to get yourself a Fiero and call it a Ferrari, live your life how you want to live your life. But I'm not going to call it a Ferrari, and I'm certainly not going to get into it and pretend it's a Ferrari.
Did you know that Magnum PI, I don't know if this is true. I know
I love Magnum PI. Go ahead. I'm all about it.
Me too. So let's time travel back to the 1980s for a brief microsecond.
Yeah.
So the Magnum PI series, and you had Miami Vice. Miami Vice had a Testarossa that was white. Now, the pretty boy close-up low mileage one went for sale at DuPont Registry or something years back. I saw that and it says, dust off your Phil Collins cassette tapes. We're getting ready to sell this car. And they had a rack mount cell phone, okay? That was a real car, and there's some stunt ones too. I don't know if this is true or not, but supposedly the Magnum PI red Testarossa was a body kit made to look like a Ferrari. I don't know. Do you know about that?
I heard they crashed a bunch of Ferraris.
They crashed a ton of Ferraris. I don't know if the original one for like the intro though or something like that.
Yeah, maybe they use it. Well, if you're going to destroy it immediately for fun, then yeah, you can have a fake one.
Maybe the intro was the real one and the others were the stunt ones. Like
I think something like that. Something like that. I'll have to Google it now. You put something in my brain there. So
I was wondering
because I love Magnum PI, and his mustache is way too cool and way too real for him to be driving a fake Ferrari. So I'm gonna have to check it out. We're going to have to look into his Rolex, too. Was it a legit Rolex or was it a full X? What's the story?
Oh, yeah, Polex or a Doplex or whatever it's called.
I don't know. Yeah, man. I hope not. I love Magnum, man. I hope you didn't just ruin Magnum PI for me, dude.
Probably like a 1983 date just gold rose edition or something like that. Who knows, man?
Yeah, no, it was the blue and the red one. Remember, his dad gave it to him or whatever? It has the blue
that's
and
the Pepsi
ring.
dial. The Pepsi dial.
Yeah, the Pepsi dial. Yeah.
The Pepsi dial. They have another one. I'm aficionado on some watches and things, but there's one called the root beer dial, which is a brown dial. Looks like root beer float. Yeah, that's a good one. Well, I want to thank you, Michael, for being on this broadcast and talking about the awesome. Of course, the event takes place, I believe, June 19th to the 21st, 2026 in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And where can they find out more info and what's the location?
Just go to icnashville.com. icnashville.com. You'll find this website. You click on tickets, click on autograph, news, cosplay. You can also download the apps. You can just search ICCCON, ICCCon on your app store, whatever it is, Android or whatever, Apple. And you'll get the app, and we have like a way better app, and we have so many nice things that are really well done, and that's because we have people that happen to be a great app designer but also love Star Wars toys or is part of the IC. Our security is second to none, and the reason why is because the guy that runs our security for his daytime job, he's also the director of Homeland Security for Tennessee. So you know what I mean? He's really overqualified to be like searching purses, but that's how we get these wonderful people, is because they're collectors and they know us and they know the group, and they say, hey, Mike, I happen to be really good at this. Hey, Mike, I happen to be really good at SciFiction podcast. Would you like to be on it? Stuff like that. But wonderful people like you and others like you that are so skilled in a different department, but also know the Imperial Commissary or collect toys or know Star Wars or love it or have the heart in it, see this, and then they offer to help. And we always take that help, and that's what makes it so wonderful. We are so, I don't know, you ever remember like, what was it, Congo? Remember Congo?
Oh, the movie with Ernie Hudson, yeah, and he had the gorilla with the big like laser blaster thing.
Exactly. Awesome. And you remember when they get off the plane, and he's like, I don't know who's paying for this, but you're in better hands than you should be. And that's how ICCC is. You're in way better hands than you should be. Our app works better than any convention's app, man. But that's because the guy with heart.
Like to talk to your app developer guys, honestly. It's so clean.
Yeah, dude, he's like great. And like we don't deserve him. And he like does it to help. You know what I mean? And that's one of the other reasons why we're able to keep prices so low and the return on your investment coming to the convention so high is because these people give thousands and thousands of dollars worth of their time, talent, and treasure to make sure that the ticket price doesn't go up. Yes. You know what I mean? And it's really wonderful, and I'm so thankful for all the volunteers and all the folks like you that just help out because you love what it is. And that really is what makes ICCC so wonderful and so special, is every single person there, whether they are emptying a trash can or, I don't know, doing security or whatever, they appreciate that you're there, and they are also collectors and nerds and fans just like you.
That's right.
So they get what you're going through, man. They understand how much it sucks to stand in line for 10 hours. That's why we get a magician that walks around and does close-up magic.
Oh, so yeah.
You're
talk about him for a long time. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Stephen Gervais, he's super fun, dude. But he's a magician, and he does close-up magic. Really, really cool stuff. Coins, cards, everything. Yes. And he comes just to walk around. It's completely free. It has nothing to do with, like, nobody has to pay nothing. And he walks around and he does close-up magic. So if you're waiting in an extended line that's kind of boring, or you're waiting somewhere for a show to start or something like that, all of a sudden Steven pops up and you're doing a card trick instead of just standing there. Because that was always something that irked me, the way they just, some cons just are like, oh, be here for 8 a.m. and then all of a sudden you're getting your autograph at 3:45. And
10 hours.
Your entire day standing in a line.
Do y'all still do the karaoke? I know y'all have done that. I was always a lot of fun. Everybody loves that.
Yeah, man. I don't know. They don't do the karaoke at night anymore. They might do a little bit of it because I know that the Aerial Skywalkers, they do their burlesque show at night. I know we got D&D at night, and I know we got the bands at night.
Right.
So karaoke could happen, but it is not a specific thing I ever set up. That kind of just happened. A lot of things just happen because I don't.
That was just random happenstance a few years back. That's awesome.
Yep. But a lot of those things, most conventions will stop anything like that because it doesn't help their bottom line, and it brings in a risk factor and a karaoke and stage and human being factor. And I more just allow fans to be themselves at the convention. You know what I mean? I try not to control them. People always go, it's swag, swag. Everybody hands out swag. Everybody's giving you a patch or a pin or a whatever. Doesn't cost you nothing. People are just walking around with them. And I get asked 10, 15 times a year, is it okay if I use the logo for swag? There is no other IP in the world that will say, yeah, no problem, dude. Slap my logo on whatever you want. But I say it, and that's how we get awesome patches and pins and badges.
Cool ones too. I've got a few of them.
Cool stuff, It's like, I don't know, man, but this stuff happens only because you don't restrict the fans' love and the fans' process and what they want to do. And that's what we try to avoid, even if it's not the best business decision in the world. And that's what creates the magic. So you want to make a piece of swag that you hand out that says SciFiction that's got the ICCC logo on it? Go ahead, man. Now, does that take away
one yet? Maybe when we get one, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Does that take away a nickel from the convention store? Sure. Do I care? No. That's why it also never makes money. But it's beautiful, man. There's nothing left in the world that's like this anymore. And that's why we try to keep it so pure and so real. And this is only about the fans. There's no corporation. There is no rainforest wood coffee table or private jet. This is people that love something coming together and sharing that love in their own way. And we don't restrict that.
Fans fuel the hyperdrive, man.
Yeah, that's it.
For sure. The event is for fans watching. I just want to thank you, the fans, by the way, for joining us. This has been a beautiful broadcast. June 19th to 21st, 2026, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It looks like 27 days, 13 hours, 57 minutes, and 52 seconds counting down.
I know, right? Be the guy that works on the website every single day and watching that thing. You're just like, how much time do I got left? Where the hell are all the banners?
Oh, yeah, man. You got the same thing on the Avengers Doomsday ticker on YouTube. So I want to thank you, Michael, for joining us. And I look forward to coming to your event this year, man. A blast in the year number 8, brother.
Thanks for having me, brother. And thanks so much for coming. And thanks for always supporting it. I really appreciate it.
No problem. You have a beautiful day, okay, man?
Take it easy, brother. Bye.
Peace. May the force be with you always.